right? He was so worried about her.
Whenever you cheer or donate, you can vote on one of the games on that list.
How can he flake out like this when we have to find the real killer?
Anything not in red.
The police consider the matter closed. We'll have to do all the investigation from here on out. Let's revisit Saki-san and Miss Yamano's incidents and see if we can turn up fresh details.
But it's been over 6 months. Wouldn't the trail be cold by now?
I know, but
It's a bit of a long list.
Up.
You can see the votes
We're
that
the
have
only ones who
already been
understand
cast
what's
as well.
really going on. And you never know. People might remember some things now because they've had so much time to think about it. Let's split up and talk to people all over town tomorrow. We'll meet up in the evening to discuss our findings.
I hope we can find out something about Teddy, too.
Tomorrow you'll all be going out to talk to people in town. Will this finally help uncover the information that will lead you to the true culprit? I wonder if the amount of social ranks you can get, you just had to go home early today and get some rest. I wonder if the number of social ranks you can get, social like ranks you can get, is based on like how much you uncover by doing this little investigation. I wonder. Oh, saving it so hard right now. But my advice to you is no matter what has votes and doesn't have votes, just vote on whatever you want because it will go to the top of the list, you know? And people will see your votes and maybe you want to be on board with that or not. So just vote for whatever you want to vote. Or don't. You don't have to vote either. It's completely optional. Today is the day the school was founded. So you have the day off. You need to investigate in town. I wonder if you'll be able to gather the information you need to catch the killer. Nice touch with all the foggy screens and stuff. Can I help you? About those murders. The incident last spring, did something happen? Oh, that's right, it was a pretty big deal, wasn't it? I almost completely forgotten about that. Well, I must be getting old. Thank you for your information. You helped me not at all. What are you talking about? Explain this incident involving Saki and Yamano, the female announcer. Did all that happen? Did all that happen just last spring? Wow, it seems so long ago. Haha. Who's gonna remember something from that far back anyway? Can I buy a book? Really? Huh. The country of Junis is staging an all-out attack on Inaba. Okay, buddy. Tokyo Xanadu is not a game we have played yet. It's not in red. Red means that we've already played and finished it. Tokyo Xanadu did get a lot of votes at one time and then it stopped getting votes. Can they capture the suspect and put a lid on the case so you're done asking questions? Good, now go away. I'm very busy. I'm talking to Rosette. Beat it, the column for beat it is like what's the objective, you know, like sometimes for like Mega Man X I'm gonna 100% it or whatever, you know. For Mario Kart I'll get the gold trophy on every cup or whatever. This fog sure is dark and creepy, isn't it? Oh, you have a question for me about the murders? A little while ago they said the suspect has been caught. It was in the newspaper. It was that Namatama son, right? I remember seeing him around from time to time. How horrible. I don't recall seeing any other strange people, so I'm sure he's the culprit. Is it true that there were no other suspicious individuals? Perhaps you should ask someone else about this. But yeah, the red means that we've actually played and beaten it. You get there's a legend on the top right. If you look at that, it'll tell you what colors mean. Call anyone suspicious? There wasn't anyone like that in this town. I even know you. You're that kid who's staying at Dojima-kun's house. See, I think that we're gonna find out that there was no one suspicious at all. Salty run back of Beyond the Beyond. Oh my god. I always make the joke that if you do want to re-vote for an old game that's been played and beaten, it's just a 1 to 1,000 ratio on votes. That's all. Well, I mean, obviously it's a joke because, you know, I'm not gonna replay the game I've already beaten. But I mean, I said it, so if it happens, then, you know, whatever. Radiant story, yeah. Did I put that on the list? I know I played it and I didn't beat it, and I don't remember if I put it on the list or not. Ah, it's you. Fog's pretty thick today. Should go on walks and I can pretty hardly recognize my surroundings. Oh, yeah. Elon Musk might really want me to play Ephemeral Fantasia. Yeah, sure. Totally. That's gonna happen. Perfect chronology isn't the played not beaten. Okay, yeah. At what point do you take the money and run? For me, never. There is no point. There is no point for that. I know he was. I know you're joking. I know, man. I'm not that dense. I'm pretty dumb, but I'm not that dumb. Yeah, basically playonastic. Just all come together to get one vote on Beyond the Beyond. Let's talk to my friends now. Same dialogue. Maybe Junis. friend was saying she saw someone. I think she's just wandering around the shopping district, so why don't you ask her? Bum, 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 bum. She said she was wandering around the shopping district, so let's look for some new NPC that may have spawned with the last dialogue. He said a woman, so that's a man. Maybe the shopkeepers? Maybe it's her. Someone told you that I saw a position. Okay. Oh, that. You remember Saki Konishi, don't you? You know, she passed away a while ago. She told me how the Namatame person came to her one day and started spreading all this craziness. Something about the TV. I wonder what that was all about. His relation to Saki? Yeah, I don't know what you're implying, but you've got it all wrong. Saki was a good girl. It's just that people misunderstood her. She must be referring to the time when Namatame tried to warn Saki. It seems that this thing about Namatame making advances on Saki was a misunderstanding. Okay. Well then. I think the game said I won't find anything else about last spring, so I should only ask about the suspicious people. Let's go back to this person who gave me the wrong information. Alundra, you got it, dude. Alright. I have it written on my document. I will add that in there later. Dun 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 dun. But that's our Monday, Tuesday game. So right now it's Breath of Fire 3. Whenever we finish Breath of Fire 3, whatever's in the lead will be the next game that we play. That's how that works. Ba-da-ba-dow, ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-dow, ba-da-ba-dow, ba-da-dow. Oops. I've heard it's a pretty hard game to get through, Alundra. I've heard it's a very difficult game in general. Ask the cat. Oh, you're a genius. Meow 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 meow. What was the cat? Was that this? Oh. I thought for a second I was actually gonna get something from it. I was like, oh, side quest. Never mind. Cats definitely do not say ho hum. Okay. I think I need to come back in another day. Okay. Never mind. Well, I feel like I've talked to every NPC. I don't know what else I can do. You know, I don't think I asked him about suspicious people. Huh. Wow, rude. Okay. I was just missing a couple people then. Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna find anyone suspicious. Because I think it's a familiar face. Because I think it's freaking detective dude. Chinese diner, ayaya.
I'm seriously pooped. This stuff's a lot harder when you don't have a badge to flash. I walked around all day and didn't hear anything good.
It was the same for me. There was absolutely no talk about the case whatsoever, let alone the true culprit.
Ditto for me. Actually, in my case, I kept getting bombarded with questions and couldn't get them onto the main subject at all. The killer must be pretty good to have pulled this off without being seen by anyone in this small town.
What should we do?
Well, one steak bowl, please.
That's not what I meant. But then again, I guess we might as well take a break. I'll have a crab and egg fried rice.
I'll have roast pork ramen with extra noodles.
You all finished eating the dishes that you ordered.
Now that our tummies are full, let's share what we learned, even if it wasn't much.
You spoke with everyone about the information you gathered today.
So, to sum up, there really was no new information. The end?
It just means it's
The
someone
police
familiar.
had an unusually large number of officers in their initial investigation of the first two incidents. To find facts that even they overlooked would be difficult indeed, now that over half a year has passed. There wasn't a single report of suspicious persons being witnessed to begin with. Miss Yamano had ardent fans, whereas Saki-san didn't. But otherwise, the conditions are the same.
You know, every time I tried to ask about the case, everyone ignored me and kept ranting about the damn fog.
Yeah, that or the Midnight Channel. I asked around about Teddy too, but no one's seen him. Gee, I wonder where he could have gone.
Do you have anything, Naoto? Any new, deductions?
Without any new data to work with, there isn't much I can do. But there must be someone in town who meets all the criteria for this case. The killer must have a connection to both Saki-san and Miss Yamano. as well as be in a position to observe our actions periodically to some extent. Finally, it must be someone who could approach Senpai's house without arousing suspicion. I need some fresh air before I give it more thought. I'll be outside.
Oh, they finished. I get what you're saying. Just sitting here won't help you think any better. You decide to go outside to get some fresh air as well. I see what you're saying, Trek. They finished their dishes. I get it. I was like, what is he getting at? Oh. See, remember, I am dense. Just not that dense. Sound effects are a little
It's
jarring in this
snowing.
game sometimes.
No wonder it's chilly.
It's December.
It's freezing out here. Maybe this will help clear my head and get my deductive muscles flexing. Hey, is it snowing?
Not much
Too
of a
bad the
detective.
fog's so thick. The
It's
snow
cold.
just gets lost
Weird.
in it.
Why is it cold in December? There must be something that's been overlooked. It's urgent that you get over the roadblock facing you. The clues you need must already be in your hands.
What's the matter?
You should go over everything you know one more time. The culprit had some sort of a connection with both Mayumi Yamano and Saki Kunichi, and judging by the warning letters, the culprit most likely knows about the other side and what you did there. It's highly likely that they also knew what Namatame was doing and stood back to watch. Who would know all these things? Another oddity about the case is that there were almost no witnesses. Both warning letters seem to have been delivered directly to your house and no one saw anyone suspicious. No one unusual was seen around Mayumi Yamano or Saki Kunichi either. Despite the police dispatching an unusually high number of officers to perform a thorough investigation, someone in this small town who fits all the facts, the person who seems to be the most likely culprit is... Wow. Huh. Okay. It's choice time. So the only thing is that, like, I don't, yeah, it's Yosuke. The only thing I don't think I'll be able to connect is those first two people, Saki. I mean, Yosuke did have a connection with Saki, actually, now that I mention it. But if I'm not mistaken...
Sardines!
Sardines, exactly. Thank you, Plain Astic, for the 100 bits. Wasn't... I want to say Detective Kun dude was her brother or something like that, right? Kanji, Rise, Naoto, obviously none of my teammates. Ryutaro, Dojima, Nanako. It's Nanako! Nanako did it! Taro, Namatame. Let's see what else. And this is my guess. I guessed this from the beginning of the game as soon as I saw him. Mayumi Yamano. Who's that? Oh. Yeah, that's the first victim. Yeah, I actually don't know who Mayumi is. I like, that was told really early in the story, and some of these Japanese names are kind of really hard to, like, commit to memory. Cause, like, we're not familiar with these words, you know? Like, George Anderson is a name that's gonna really stick in my mind, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm familiar with these things. I can just lock it away very easily. But Mayumi Yamano, I'm struggling just to remember, like, any kind of meaning or anything like that. I'm trying to, like, file it. So attaching meaning to a character with a name is kind of hard to do in his Japanese names. But Saki, I believe, is Yosuke Senpai. Kenshiro Maruka, that was idiot teacher. Mitsuo Kubo, don't know who that is. Misuzu Hiragani, don't know who that is. Noriko Kashiwagi, Noriko, that sounds familiar. I think these are teachers. Hanako Otani, Aya Abihabara, Kao Ichigo, Daisuke, Ayane, Mitsunaga, oh, that's the friend zone. Eri, Minami, I don't know who that is. I think once again. I almost mashed that in. I'm pretty sure Saki... Wait, well, no, I showed her last name. It wasn't Adachi, so never mind. I don't know. The only person I can think of that would actually do this is Adachi, but we'll see if I'm actually right. Of course, if you look only at the circumstances, you can't completely rule out that possibility. Adachi may have been able to keep an eye on your actions. He would have been able to approach your house with ease, and he knows the area well. Thinking about it, you encountered him many times while investigating the case. You learned much about the police's movements from Adachi as well. There's no exact reason to doubt him, but something is bothering you. You spoke Adachi's name.
Huh? What about him?
Detective Adachi. A member of the police force. That is an interesting approach. It would certainly explain the lack of witness reports. It's the same reason no one ever reported seeing Namatame's truck.
This is a small town, so everyone must have known who he is. And since he's a detective, people definitely wouldn't have thought of him as being suspicious.
In fact, he could use his position to his advantage and hide critical information.
Huh. Well, if you think of it that way, I guess it's possible. But we're talking about Adachi here, right? I mean, really? Adachi? He's your textbook lousy detective.
Yeah, but that's like
Are
a
we really on the
freaking
right track here?
usual suspects kind of thing, you know?
Actually, regarding Detective Adachi, I'm not sure how to put it, but there's something that's been bothering me
I
about
think I may
him
have
for
got it
some
right.
time now.
Which is not that surprising, but yeah.
Yeah? Hmm.
Perhaps it's just my imagination, so I shouldn't speak too...
It's cold. I think we've cooled down enough here. Let's go back in.
The game's like, hey, we need everybody for this conversation, or something's going to interrupt me from getting to the actual point, one or the other.
Adachi-san? That can't be. I mean, he said he came to escort Ms. Yamano and...
What? Was he at your inn when the announcer was staying there?
When Miss Yamano was staying at our inn, the media were swarming all over it. That's when Adachi-san arrived, saying he'd been assigned to guard her. He told our waitress that fame could be rough.
Guard her? He didn't spend the night there?
Huh. I wonder if he knew Ms. Yamano.
I don't know about that, but I heard he did call out to a girl in my class. I found out this afternoon. But I thought, you know, that's just how cops are. So I didn't think it had anything to do with the case.
Detective Adachi also questioned Saki-san, the one who found the announcer's body, on numerous occasions. I heard it was because there was so little information about the case at the time, but it's certainly unusual to question someone with as strong an alibi as hers multiple times.
Then you think he had something else on his mind?
And that something is what connects those two victims to Adachi-san? Come to think of it, we've been running into that guy a lot, in all sorts of
Yep,
places.
he's always there.
And every time he'd tell us what the police were doing before saying, oops, I said too much and clamming up.
Yeah, he was given that information
was
on
that all
purpose.
to throw us off the trail?
It would be no problem for him to drop that warning letter into your mailbox either. Not to mention the fact that he can destroy any evidence that might point to him.
Various peculiarities have begun to cast a suspicious shadow on Adachi.
Then, is it really Adachi-san?
We need to confirm this.
This is still only a tentative theory. We should work to confirm it as soon as possible. This is Naoto Shirogane. Something has occurred to me about the case, and I'd like to get Detective Adachi's input on it. Huh? The transport? It's right now? Right, I see. Thank you.
That got her attention.
What was that about a transport?
Criminal transport.
Detective Adachi is headed to the hospital to prepare for Namatame's relocation.
And he's gonna
We
meet
must
with
head
an
there at once.
unfortunate accident on the way. Things are moving quickly now. You feel that you are getting closer to the truth. Rank 4.